Good afternoon. I'm Mark Gwynn, Director of the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. Today, we are pleased to announce significant developments in a case that we have been investigating for 4 years. In partnership with the Lincoln County Sheriff's Department and District Attorney General Rob Carter. On March 25th, 2013, investigators discovered the body of Michael Mitchell in his Flintville home. His body had been dismembered and left there for weeks before being discovered. TBI agents, working alongside investigators from the Lincoln County Sheriff's Department, have aggressively pursued this case for 4 years. We are gratified that the hard work has paid off today. We're announcing an arrest has been made in this case. This afternoon, TBI agents took Joe Speck into custody, charging him with 1 count of criminal homicide. He is currently being held in the Lincoln County Jail without bond. Our agents and the investigators of the Lincoln County Sheriff's Department, in close consultation with the District Attorney General's office, never gave up on this case. We pursued all leads, evidence, and couldn't be more gratified with the outcome we're announcing today. Every day, we work to provide closure for those dealing with the worst of the worst crimes in small towns and big cities in Tennessee. Our relationships with agencies like the Lincoln County Sheriff's Department truly makes a difference. When cases go unsolved, it wears on the family, on the victim, and especially on the community. But rest assured, the TBI stands prepared to never give up in the search for justice. Sheriff, we couldn't be more thankful for your department's partnership in this case. And to the family of Michael Mitchell, we are profoundly sorry for your loss. We hope today's news of an arrest is a small piece of comfort and closure that will lead to your healing. With that, I turn it over to Sheriff Blackwalder.
Good afternoon. Thank y'all for coming out on this case and paying attention. This case has been taxing on all of us, including more so than anybody, the families of Michael Mitchell. I'd like to thank the TBI and our partnership with the TBI for their endless and countless hours that they've put into this case. Between our investigators and their investigators and help from outside, we've been able to bring it to somewhat of a resolve, and we're very grateful to be able to present that today. We've had a lot of help from a lot of different people, and it's paid off at the end. We want to thank everybody for their patience. Thank you for the information. Thanks to the Morgan County Sheriff, Morgan County, Alabama Sheriff Anna Franklin, for a lot of special help that she provided to us. That goes to show what a great partnership can do in a case like this. And we want you to know that everybody's case matters. No matter how long it goes on, we're going to stay after it. With that being said, I'd like for Attorney General Rob Carter.
Thank you, Director Sheriff. Thank you all very much for being here on a good day. I believe this case shows you what dogged police work can result in, and that's exactly what you've got in this case. TBI agents, members of our sheriff's office, never gave up. A wise lady told us not too long ago that the one thing she could not do was give up hope, and she refused to do it. And that's exactly what benefited our law enforcement officers and everyone involved in this case, and that's why we're here today. So, with that being said, let me briefly touch on what the process or what we anticipate happening in the future, which is this individual was picked up on arrest warrants, so he is in custody, which means he will go through the General Sessions Court here in Lincoln County. He has a right, if he elects to pursue it, to have a preliminary hearing, After that, it would be bound over, presented to the grand jury. We assume then a arraignment would follow, and he would be in the circuit court here in Lincoln County, Tennessee. And the process would go from there like a normal case. I want to add one bit of thanks to our colleagues there in Alabama at the Morgan County Sheriff's Department. We appreciate their help very much. And more than anything, I want to say one last thanks to these men standing behind me. The TBI and the Sheriff's Office have gone the extra mile on this case because we asked them to, and because they wanted to, and because that's their duty. And I'm awfully proud to work with them. And thank you all very much for being here today.
General, thanks. We will open it up for a few brief questions at this time. I do want to remind you this case is still open, it's still active and ongoing, so you may ask some specific things that we're not in a position to address at this point. That being said, any questions?
How did the sheriff in Morgan County contribute to helping solve this case?
Sheriff Franklin assisted us, not necessarily in solving the case, but in assistance with knowing the movements of our specific individual.
How did the victim and suspect know each other?
We can't go into that right now. Obviously, we want to provide General Carter with the most thorough investigation, the most thorough case file we can. We don't want to try this in the media, so we just can't answer those specific type questions.
Can you talk about some of the evidence that you all were able to gather to finally make this big arrest?
Yeah. Once again, we can't go into the specifics of the case. This is only a part of it. The arrest is just one part of this process. General Carter has a case that he has to prepare for prosecution, and we can't divulge anything that would be in that case file.
How long have you all been looking for Joe Speck?
This case has been going on for 4 years. Over that 4-year period, obviously, there were many suspects. We ran every lead. We followed all the evidence, and that's what's led us to be here today to announce this arrest.
Why do you believe he is the one?
Obviously, we've made an arrest. We feel that we've arrested the person that's responsible for the death of Mr. Mitchell, and we are now going to wrap our case file up, turn it over to General Carter for prosecution.
Is there anything you can share about what led to a breakthrough in this case?
Just hard investigative work. When you never stop running leads, never stop interviewing, you're going at some point get that one piece, that one shred of evidence that leads you to another piece of evidence that will possibly lead you to an arrest. And that's what we did. Just good, hard investigative work by TBI agents and members of the Lincoln County Sheriff's Department.
Director, perhaps you or Sheriff might be able to speak to, when you're working in law enforcement as a career professional, talk a little bit about how you're hoping to bring these types of cases to this type of resolution. That might be helpful for folks.
Well, you know, in many cases, it's not about how quickly you can get an arrest. For us, it's about putting together a case that General Carter can prosecute at the end. So sometimes that may take days, weeks, months, or years. In this case, it took years. But it was not because we were not working on it every day. It's because we had to develop what we felt was foolproof evidence to lead to an arrest that we believe will lead to prosecution one day.
Can you address how Mr. Speck allegedly killed Mr. Mitchell?
No, we cannot go into the specifics of the case.
Did Mr. Speck live here? Does he live here? Or was he a resident of our county?
He was a resident of our county, but he has since moved.
You have an age on him?
That'll be in the news release we'll provide.
Okay.
Any further questions for our panel?
How is Mitchell's family doing with the news?
You know, we can't bring Mr. Mitchell back for his family, but we believe today is the start of their healing. We hope to give them closure. They received the message very well, and there was relief that finally they can start to heal and have closure regarding their brother's death.
Thank you all so much. General, if you'll lead the panel up, that'd be great.